3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 14th.
We're live.
And welcome to the 14th episode of the Film Studies Club podcast. I am joined by my vice host.
I was thinking, I don't want to use my real name on this for today's episode.
Why?
It's today.
What's wrong with today's episode?
Mine is going to be
The Sixth Blood.
Pahul Chabra.
Sixth Blood.
It's Pahul Chabra is my vice host.
Man,
and our
screw you.
fact checker / secretary host.
Secretary host, vice host.
I can be fact
Assistant
checker.
to the vice host. Assistant to the assistant to
plumber,
the host.
Custodian.
Literally
janitor.
everything other, the thing is,
toilet plunger.
We have our two jobs, and then Nick is every single job that isn't our job, so us three, collectively, are the entire workforce of the entire world, if you think about it.
I go by T-Bone now.
Why does he get a different name than I know?
You know what we should just call him? We should call him Every Job. Every Job Nick.
Every job, Nick.
Or just EJ.
Stop trying to make yourself cool.
Okay.
What if we called him by his initial? We call him NM. Yo, what's up, NM?
That sounds like Eminem.
Anemone.
You're my anemone.
What's an anemone?
I don't know.
An enemy? That's the thing that clownfish chill in.
The wiggly stuff?
Did you not see Finding Nemo?
I saw Finding something. Either Dory or Nemo. What's
you
the
know
one
that-
with the orange fish? And
Did
the
you-
dad fish and the mom fish dies?
Finding Nemo and... Oh, okay, sorry. It's fine.
That's Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo. I saw Finding Nemo.
Did you know that sea anemones are actually the closest creature? It's like the creature that's the most debated on if it's an animal or a plant.
Really?
You know how coral and
Forrest is licking his bed right now.
it's tasty. You know how coral and stuff, there's a big debate, is that an animal or is that a plant?
I heard about it.
Anemones are the closest to being an animal, so it's the biggest debate. Yeah.
Aren't they all dying though?
Yeah, that's the sad part.
Take the headphones off.
All right, so for those of you who are listening, who is everybody, Nick just picked up headphones on the ground and put them on his head.
They're skull candies, so...
Wait, why did he hire to...
Those are, Hulisa's almond.
Why are they just on the ground?
Here,
I'll put it in her backpack.
Ian Blank's girlfriend.
She's here right now.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, that's a hard name to do. It's like Puluk Itri.
Hawaiian girl, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Is she Hawaiian?
I don't know. What's Hawaiian? No, she's an islander. So Hawaiian?
Like Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Basically, I can't even tell the difference.
Oh, I think Dwayne The Rock Johnson's tattoos are super cool. And we're talking about tattoos today, so that's actually a relevant topic. The King of Staten Island.
Anyways, this
Movie
is the
time.
movie podcast.
No, guys, that wasn't enough intro.
Forrest.
So we should point out the fact that we were supposed to have a special guest on today, and then he just said, "Oopsies, I can't."
Well, we won't reveal who the special guest
Jack
is.
Rundle.
Because, God. You're so infuriating, dude.
Also, this week,
God.
hopefully this week, we are actually
wring your neck.
posting TikToks
Sorry, that was too
and posts on Reddit. So
Speaking of which,
if you what's happening?
he's recording me saying,
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, I guess I have to be silent, and then I'll explain what's happening after.
So, was that cool?
Okay, yeah,
I
no,
need a
you
tissue.
were super cool. I did mine in my bed. So for the TikToks, in fact, if you came here from the TikToks, then you'll know what we're talking about.
I doubt anyone would.
I bet one person will, and they'll
Okay,
click
here's the
off in
thing.
2 minutes.
Who's watching TikToks and they're really into but then they're oh, you know what? I want to go listen to a podcast. I don't know, how often does that happen? No.
You would be surprised how bored teenagers are.
Exactly, and that's why TikTok is the short attention span stuff. Podcast.
Yeah,
it's
he's
a
kind of
long
right. We're going to the
form.
wrong medium.
Maybe we should make. Maybe we should upload this podcast in 6-second increments.
Or we need to jump from a longer medium to a shorter medium. So what's longer than a podcast? A really long...
A movie?
A movie. So we put our ad in a movie. And then people are going to jump to a podcast. It's you have to jump down. You can't jump
How about
up.
a 24-hour live stream?
Okay, no, guys, I really want to break the world record for longest
Dude,
podcast.
here's the thing, though.
Can you look it up, double check?
We're gonna need food.
Oh, yeah, no, this would be like a prep. Like, we need like a week to prep this.
You know, I'm down. Nick, are you down?
I'm down.
I'm down. Everyone's down. Why don't we?
No,
why
literally,
not?
we could put on our logo, like, Guinness World Record holding podcast.
36 hours.
It's like how.
That's not bad at all. 36.
It's like how some movies have like the Academy Award nominee or whatever. It's like that could be.
You know what we should do? We should get like you guys should. Somebody's coming home right now. I feel like I tried to say 6 different things and they've all been like cut off by other things. So the reason that they just recorded that is that Paul Hool was saying sup for whatever Nick is creating for the TikToks. And I forget any other points I was trying to say.
Well, tattoos. Dwayne The Rock Johnson's tattoos really
They're
cool.
awesome.
In the TikTok, I refer to you as vegan dude, and you as just Indian dude.
Hey, why?
I'm not upset about it.
I am. You chose to be vegan. I didn't choose to be Indian.
That's very true.
Well, you chose to be.
Paul Hool has just killed Nick. Nick is dead. Nick can no longer be on the podcast.
We're at 56%.
That's fine.
I don't know why. I thought we were at 100% really earlier, but
well,
then I
there's
realized
another
that's just not
port,
true.
so we can just plug it in.
Yeah, I can run and get my
What am I
charger
saying?
if need
Like
be.
theoretically,
Movie time.
not yet. We're still. Oh, it just got really quiet. Wait.
It's girls' night.
Yeah, no. It's like the thing. Like the air conditioner stops working. Like it stops coming.
Oh,
yeah. No, but
and it just gets really quiet.
I hate
because,
that at night. I hate that at night because it wakes me up.
Yeah, at night it's weird, but it's weird, but it's kind of nice, you know. Like
it's not nice.
It's
just
disturbance.
I just
It's
hear
gone,
ringing.
and you didn't even.
I hear
it's
ringing.
like when there's something stuck in the back of your. Why do you get it out? You know.
Oh yes, very articulately worded. For the 36-hour podcast episode,
We should call our special guests.
We could. We should probably have a revolving door of special guests on. But I'm thinking like I'll open my letterbox and literally review every single movie I've ever seen.
Forces came over
And like whichever ones you guys have seen,
oh my God,
you guys can talk about.
That would be a lot of. Okay.
I think that would be super fun.
Or we can just talk, you know, like just chill about. You know,
well,
talk.
at a certain point,
we're
we
gonna
run
have to
out
start
of.
removing.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Let's review the Pixie movie we saw in Spanish or whatever. The butterfly one. What's butterfly in Spanish? I forget.
I have to say, it's a
Montarosa.
shame you're not
Montarosa.
taking Spanish again, dude.
It's a shame that I can't take AP French. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
That would have been totes awesome, bro. Okay. Anyways,
you can't do that with a dog's tail.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Oh, is that bad?
Because it's
I
like a
don't know.
part. It's connected
It's
to their
their spine.
spine.
My bad.
So,
I'm
like,
sorry, Forrest.
imagine
Yeah.
if someone pulled on your spine. Nick.
I just gave him arthritis in his spine.
Remember when
We haven't started
Mr.
talking.
Fitch was like passing the thing around with the guy who had a tail?
Yeah.
Like, that was so weird.
Remember?
So he takes his book out in class, right? And we're in the middle of a really important lecture or whatever. And then he just starts passing this picture around of a guy who happens to have a tail. It was just weird.
Remember when he pulled up the picture of the like?
Dude, no, my dad doesn't look like that.
Okay,
You're basically saying my dad looks like an earlier form of a human being. like he's unevolved almost. Yeah, he's a gastroenterologist in Redding, California. He's a smart cookie.
They pulled up. He pulled up a picture of I don't know what it was. It
A
was like
Neanderthal.
a Neanderthal.
It's like a reconstruction.
And then the class was
Oh,
dead.
I know that exact picture.
And the
actually.
class was dead silent, and I said, "Oh, cool, that kind of looks like your dad." And Mr. Fitch started laughing. Like, Mr. Fitch thought it was really funny.
Gastroenterologist. He does butt stuff. Well, what can we say?
Remember during AP Bio when I passed you the Dutch Bro sticker?
Oh yeah,
That was so relieving because I'd had that sticker for probably 6 or 7 months, and I finally got it to you.
You kept it in very good condition for
Thank
having
you.
it. Yeah, that was very impressive.
I kept it in the zipper because I kept on saying I'm going to give this to Bahul, and then I just kept on forgetting. Awesome, Nick. Okay, we should get to some movies now. We have 3 movies this week, all new releases, which is very exciting. We have, I think what we should do is introduce the movies, because if somebody hears a movie that they want to hear their review to, then they'll wait to listen to it. So I'm going to introduce the 3 movies now. Okay, we have Artemis Fowl, The King of Staten Island.
Well, but I put it in the podcast description anyway.
Doesn't matter. We have Artemis Fowl,
Plus,
The
they'd
King
have to
of...
get through 10 minutes of just blabbering. You know.
We have Artemis Fowl, The King of Staten Island, and
The 5.
The Five Bloods. I watched that one like a week ago. So Pahul. What
low
order?
life to least.
What order do you think we should go in today? It's pretty cool.
Okay, here's what I did. So I watched The Five Bloods first, and I watched Artemis Fowl, and I watched Staten Island. And I like that order because it's like a roller coaster of quality, you know?
Oh, like a big.
Sine wave.
Yeah, but instead of completely coming up, in my opinion, it just kind of flattened out.
Nick, you look up the plot synopsis for The Five Bloods. Thanks. We're gonna start with that one. I'm gonna go get lemonade. Do you guys want lemonade?
Yes, actually.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get some glasses of lemonade. Keep the podcast rolling.
So Nick, that's your life.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh wait, The Five Bloods. Let's do this.
The Five Bloods. When Robert told me the title, I was like, The Five Bloods, and so I looked at the because I thought he just.
Yeah, no, I don't like the Okay, it's a stylistic choice, but I don't like using da instead of the. You know, it just makes it awkward when you're talking about it with someone. It's just weird. Hey, did you watch Da Five Bloods? It's weird. You know?
It forces me to go an accent. It's like, hey, did you watch The Five Bloods? That kind of thing. Which is maybe racist. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of treading the line, so you should probably stop.
Yeah. From Academy Award winner Spike Lee comes a new joint. The story of 4 African American vets: Paul, who is Delroy Lindo; Otis.
Oh God! Don't have to say the actor names. You know, it's kind of lame.
Clegg Peters and Eddie, who is Norm Lewis, and
blah blah blah. They go to Vietnam.
Who return to Vietnam, searching for the remains of their fallen squad leader.
And gold.
And promise of buried treasure are
gold,
here.
Which is gold. It's gold bars. 18 million.
Do you want to say this one?
Bars. I'm right
now.
Okay. Joined by Paul's concerned son. Battle forces of man and.
Can you come grab one of the glasses? I really don't.
Go. I'll handle the podcast.
Oh my God!
Hello. This is only me time now. Let's see. Searching for the remains of the fallen squad leader Chadwick Boseman. Oh, he was in that one movie, the black superhero movie.
Black Panther.
Black Panther.
No, Nick, that glass
and the
is
promise
for
of
you.
buried treasure. Our hero is joined by Paul's concerned son. Oh wait, Nick's already talked about this.
Get out of my seat.
Yeah, written by Netflix. Okay.
Yeah, the whole corporation of Netflix wrote this. They had it was credited with 6,000 writers, which actually, this movie was credited with 4 writers. Which actually I think is a problem with the movie, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
The credits were really long. That's all I noticed.
Plot keywords. It was plot keywords. So, Vietnam War, gunfight, multiple time frames, no title at beginning, reference to George Washington.
Who looks up no title at the beginning as a criteria of movie they want to watch?
Yeah, shootout, 1960s, no opening credits, number in title, and F word.
Paul is using a primitive way of getting my dog out of the recording studio. That is not my living room.
He's out. Let's go before he comes back.
He's gonna come back.
Okay.
He won't realize for a while.
Okay, Pahul, what do you believe the order should be?
I think it should be. I thought I already said this, but it's
You
Da
did.
Five Bloods.
No. For people talking.
Oh.
Just remember, we always pick the people and then we rotate. All right. Forrest, let's go out. Forrest, let's go outside.
Let's do the rock paper scissors thing. No, it's right.
I'm kind of busy right now.
What are you busy doing? What's so important?
I'm finding the fun fact.
I'm playing Minecraft.
I am not playing Minecraft.
Screw you. You and your Minecraft.
Okay, the entire podcast has left the station.
Pahul just left. Okay. So, Pahul is back.
He's tripped over nothing.
Dude,
what is with you today?
Yeah, something's up, Pahul. Are you alright?
I woke up on the wrong side of the tracks.
He just combined 2 sayings. Okay, Pahul, what order do you want to go in terms of people to talk?
You first, and then me, and then you.
Okay.
You as the first you was Robert, and the second you was Nick.
Good job clarifying.
Listeners.
Will Cooper's on the leftist group chat now. Awesome. Okay. We should have him on the podcast.
Will Cooper, yeah,
that's a really good guest. No, he just
Wait,
talking about wanting to go to UC Berkeley.
Kill Whooper.
No, I already said his name. It's a little late.
I know where he
Okay,
lives.
so The Five Bloods was a movie I was really, really looking forward to because I love Spike Lee from the movies that I have seen of him, which admittedly were only 2 at the time, but
Which ones?
Black Klansman and Do the Right Thing. I think Do the Right Thing is a masterpiece. That movie, the way it builds tension is just so, so good.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When did that come out?
In the 80s or 90s?
90s. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And then Black Klansman, which was more recent. Mm-hmm. And I like his way of filmmaking a lot. Like, it's hard to explain, but he's just so confident, and his filmmaking has, like, a lot of swagger to it. And, like, he knows how to, like, relive moments well. Like, there's an editing trick that he uses where he'll, like, shoot somebody doing something, and then he'll cut to another angle, and it's them doing the exact same thing again.
Yeah, that's a weird thing.
I
don't know.
I really
like
like
it.
I really like that because it kind of it felt like the only time he did it is when the characters were kind of feeling something like that, when something happened and then they realized what was happening, like when the guy got hugged. I won't spoil who or when it was, but
I don't remember who, but it was hugging.
it was like a significant moment for him. So there was the hug, and then there was the realization that he was actually hugging, and they did that with the shot because they showed their bodies, and then it cut to another shot that was like his face reacting to it. So I like stuff like that. I think he's like stylistically a very cool director, and he brings that to Five Bloods. Like I hate that. I hate Like,
yeah, that's what I was saying. It's such a.
Why are you holding your wine glass like that, you monster?
We're not drinking wine. We're drinking lemonade.
Yeah, it's a wine glass.
Here's
There is a wine
the thing.
in it.
How would you hold it?
Here. Like
Yes. Like, here's the thing. You know why the stem's created? It's because you don't want to conduct the heat to the liquid. You want to keep the
We're
heat
drinking
away.
lemonade.
Sorry, I had to do that.
You're so angry today. Are you okay?
I watched Bill Burr. I don't know why.
You got bit by a dog, now he's turning into one. Like that one.
That sounds like the next zombie apocalypse movie, like zombie dogs. And then
Train to Busan.
Anyways, this was supposed to go in theaters, and actually it was supposed to like have a bit of an awards push, as far as I could tell. It's not going to go to theaters.
What?
I could see this having an awards push, but the Academy did something really stupid recently, which we have to discuss later. I'm setting a reminder for myself. Because actually, I think it would be fun if we had a segment where we like briefly discuss like recent movie news topics.
Yeah, I follow r/movies on Reddit.
Oh, so you know all the news.
I get a lot of stuff.
Let me set a reminder for myself after I do this. But I thought Five Bloods was very passionately a Spike Lee movie, and any time a movie is passionately a Spike Lee movie, it's really I really enjoy it. Mm-hmm. The first half I was struggling with a bit, if I'm going to be honest, because it was a lot of characters talking without it really going anywhere.
When did the first half end?
I can't say it because it's a really big significant moment,
fine.
but it's when they're searching for gold, really.
Oh, okay.
When they started searching for gold, there's something that Can you let her out?
The angry one. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's when the movie really like hooked me, and up until that point I was kind of like losing interest. Like, I think that having like a hangout movie, or at least parts of a movie that are like kind of hangout where it's just like characters talking and you're just kind of like chilling with them and you're getting to like know them, is great. But when it's a movie that's this long and like an hour and 10 minutes of it is just hanging out and chilling, but there's still a lot more movie to go, it really drags the movie down. And I felt that with Five Bloods. My other problem with it was that I mentioned earlier there were 4 writers. I think that was a problem because it felt like this movie was trying to do way too many things. Like, it was trying to bring in commentary about Martin Luther King. It was trying to bring in commentary about modern day systemic racism. It was trying to bring in like the Vietnam War and how it affected the people. It was trying to bring in themes of brotherhood. It was so much all the time that some things stuck and some things didn't. Like, the end of the movie ultimately was not very effective for me, even though I liked the editing because it was super like weird and very interestingly timed. It just didn't have an impact on me because the movie was trying to say too many different things, and at a certain point it was just too much. So I think this movie, the length was pretty good in my opinion. in terms of like a movie being this long for its story. I think they just needed to utilize time a little bit better and keep a little bit more focused and spend a bit more time with conflict going on rather than just being a hangout movie. But those are my qualms with it, and it sounds like I'm being overly negative right now, but I genuinely did really enjoy this movie. Like the ensemble cast is really, really good. The 4 older guys, I don't recognize any of them like super well.
We could just talk. Okay.
Okay. I didn't recognize any of them super well, but they all gave really strong performances, and the ensemble in general, like I could see this going on to get like a SAG Ensemble Award for Screen Actors Guild because it was strong all around.
Pretty dope.
Yeah. And even though it was 2 hours and 40 minutes, and even though it did drag at certain points, I never didn't not want to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, I always wanted to watch it because I knew it was going places,
Yeah.
and I liked the directions it was going. It was just a bit too scattered, but, like, nobody's going to see this and think Spike Lee isn't an amazing director because it's directed really well, and it's very stylistic. But yeah, those are my thoughts. On to you were next, right?
Yeah, I was next. And, let's see. First thing I want to talk about is I like the commentary. I think it was very interesting. Like the stuff on the My Lai massacre and stuff. It was kind of weird though because they were going through all the pictures and stuff, and he talks about the dead baby, and I just held on the dead baby for like a little bit too. Yeah, that was like I know that they're trying to. It was a horrible thing that happened. Massacres. I'm not saying that they're whatever. I'm just saying massacres are bad. I just don't like seeing dead babies when I'm eating dinner. And the second thing is that, like, I liked how when they were having, like, when Chadwick Boseman was...
What?
That's not a spoiler. Okay, yeah, so when they're, like, in the flashback sequences...
Yeah.
Like, I like how the camera, I don't know what you call it, but, like, it kind of, like, you know? The aspect
Zoom?
ratio.
The aspect ratio changed for the different...
that was pretty cool.
I thought that was cool,
and,
too.
I like the monologue, especially when the
like
Trump
crazy
guy, the
Yeah.
crazy Trump guy.
When he's, like,
going through the
crazy,
woods and stuff,
yeah,
and he's just talking, and you learn some stuff about him, some certain stuff. That's pretty cool.
His eyes are like wide open.
But like
during that
he
shot.
kept
It's
me,
so good.
he kept me like, you know, like I don't know. It was just like a good acting thing, I guess. Props to the actor, by the way, whoever played the Trump supporter. What else? I like. Okay, so. You know how...
I just want to point out you're not using notes, and I think that's great.
Thank you. Okay, here's the thing. So you know how the kid meets the French lady?
Yeah.
And she talks about the project she's involved with?
Right.
It was kind of... I liked how they foreshadowed some events that would happen later.
Yeah.
Through that. That was
this
pretty
movie
cool.
used foreshadowing pretty well, I thought, too.
And I was, like, scared for them because I remembered that part, and I was like, okay, something's gonna happen. Something crazy's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I thought the hip pills part was stupid, though.
What?
Where the guy, he's taking pills for his hip. Remember that?
Oh,
He's
yeah,
like,
Oxy.
get out of here, druggie!
That's how some people see it.
But yeah, like, you know, they were like putting in a lot of stuff in there, like you said, like they had a whole thing about like the Oxycontin and the what's the crisis? Opioid crisis. They had something about that. They had something about blah blah blah. Like they were like it was just chock full of stuff that's happening right now. Sometimes a little too much, but whatever. What else? No time.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, I think it's progress. You went a good amount of time without having to use notes. And I think that's a step in the right direction.
There's so many boomers in it.
I didn't write anything for this. I forgot.
This movie did have quite a few boomers in it.
Yeah,
and I kind of found it weird that, like, okay, I know that using CGI would be weird and stuff. It just kind of was weird to watch the old guys do the flashback thing in Vietnam because they were old and Chadwick Boseman was young. And I get they can't de-age someone, like the whole Irishman thing where he was walking weirdly but he was still young or whatever.
Yeah.
I get that. It was just a little weird. I know there's no solution to it, I'm just saying it's weird. That's all.
Yeah, that's facts.
Younger actors.
Yeah, but like, how... You can't show someone completely different like a few years ago.
I thought that was big.
Yeah, no, they do that with a lot of movies. It's not always the best, though. Like, it's really, really hard to find an actor that looks exactly like another actor.
I can be a pretty good actor for, like, Tom Cruise. Like, it's stunt double.
Oh, yeah. Nick, you look just like Tom Cruise.
I do.
Same
I
body.
even have a middle tooth. I know.
The guy from Staten Island reminded me of you.
That's
Kinda,
awesome. Thank
in
you.
a way, like, he could be a stunt
That's
double.
an insult.
No, he moved on. Anyway, I'm not talking about Staten Island right now, but...
Nick?
My turn. So,
Nope.
I thought this movie was a very good representation of, like, it had a really good message that I took off the message that, like, the war is still very much going on for people who were in the war. And I thought this movie did a very good thing portraying. It's just like, the war is technically not happening right now, but the entire movie is just war.
Is that why you were scared of being drafted? When the whole
No.
Iran thing was happening?
Nick, you can keep on talking.
Anyways, yeah, I thought that, yeah, they like, continue the war almost in a way, even though it's not happening. It's just like, it's Americans versus Vietnamese people, and it's really interesting how he portrayed that, you know, using all the violence. And also, this movie is so grotesque. Oh my god, I did not expect to see a very dead child in like 9 a.m. in the morning on a Wednesday morning. Like,
Before you weren't eating dinner.
actually, I was.
You were eating dinner
I
at
wasn't
9
eating
a.m.
dinner. I was eating some like pasta.
So it wasn't really dinner.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I am right.
Stop drinking
Well,
from my
okay,
lemonade.
when did you go to bed?
Like today?
Yeah.
Went to bed at like 11 a.m.
And you ate at 9 a.m.? That's basically dinner.
That's good.
If you think about it, if you think about it, that is
Oh
dinner.
my god!
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but the editing in this, it's very different. Like, what's wrong with you people?
No, there's just so much background noise this episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't remember her name, but there's this woman. Robert probably knows her name, who was like very. She was like the first like she was the first to like get like an editor as like a job. Like usually editors back in the day weren't like given, you know, like titles. They were just like, editing wasn't really seen as like an artwork. It was just more a task. And there was this editor. She worked a lot for what's his name?
Universal.
No, it's a director.
Spike Lee.
No.
Like
Once
old
Upon a Time
directors?
in Hollywood.
Steven Spielberg.
George Cucker? Who are you
Once
talking
Upon
about?
Once Upon a Time.
Oh,
in
feet
Hollywood.
guy. Foot
Quentin
guy.
Tarantino?
Yeah, she worked a little bit for Quentin Tarantino. She
Wait, no, there's no way editing... No, I just... Editing was viewed as an art form way before Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying it started with him.
Wait, then what are you saying?
I'm saying
First full-time editor was under Quentin Tarantino. Like, fully paid and stuff? Is
no.
that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is, she started the thing where like editing is seen as like an art form, and it takes like a skilled person.
That started with Man with a Movie Camera back in 1922 or something.
Okay, actually, yeah, I don't really
You
know
don't
if it
know
started
film
with her, but it
history.
definitely.
So what are you talking about? Sorry, I'm so sorry.
I'm not really sure if it started with her. I guess not, but
You're talking about Sally Menke.
Yeah. Anyways, she I remember in like a video I watched, she started that trend with like not a trend, but I can't really think of anything else to call it, of that editing style where like you play the sound clip of another scene and then you wait a second and then you cut to the scene. You know that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she started that, and I feel like this movie breaks a lot of rules with editing, and I feel like it's kind of similar in that light, where it's just they do a very stylized kind of editing piece in it. Maybe it can catch on. I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not an editing guy, but if I were an editing guy, I wouldn't listen to you. I'd listen to Sally Menke.
Yeah, I would too.
Sure.
Okay. Were those all your thoughts, or did you have anything else to share?
I liked how every single, like, most of the people kind of got their stuff together by the end, you know? Like, they all had their own baggage, and then they all kind of dealt with it.
Violent.
I'm okay with violence in movies as long as like it has a
I
point.
am too, but it's just so
And even
real.
then, if it doesn't have a point, I'm still fine with it. I don't care.
Yeah,
Like
that's
movies
pretty-
can never get to a
that's
point of
pretty
violence
cool.
that makes me uncomfortable. Honestly, it's all about the context behind the violence.
Literally, like real. Sorry, timestamp.
Yeah.
God, I hate flies.
Oh my gosh, you're like that episode of Breaking Bad.
Oh,
Fly.
yeah.
Worst episode.
What? That's a good episode.
In my opinion, it's the
No,
worst
but
episode.
they're talking to each other at the end, and they're like getting
I like
their
that
stuff.
episode.
Yeah, I didn't
Good.
like spending 35 minutes just watching them stand on ladders and then get down from ladders just to get to 10 minutes that were pretty solid.
I don't know.
That were basically just as good as another episode.
I guess.
It was a filler episode. It's the only filler episode that Breaking Bad has, as far as I'm concerned. Nick.
Good job, bro. Get it all out.
Anyways, we should give our scores now. So I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna give To Five Bloods a 7.5 out of 10.
1,400.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Out of
Just say 10. Please get this over with.
Okay, now we're on to our next movie.
Hey! Whoa!
It's like a siren or something.
Yeah, it really is. Just what, Nick?
So, do you guys know the band The Temptations?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well.
I liked Marvin Gaye's acapella thingy.
I liked
what's
how
going on, and there was like no instrumentals, and it was like just him
me too.
singing.
I liked how
That
they
was
used
pretty
Marvin
cool.
Gaye in this movie in general, because that whole album was about the Vietnam War, so it like very much fit.
Okay, the members of The Temptations are Paul, Melvin, Otis, Eddie, and David.
What?
Notice any similarities?
Nope.
Okay, and also the songwriter was named Norman, so that's the names were based off of The Temptations.
Interesting. That's actually very interesting.
The Five Bloods is Spike Lee's first feature-length film for Netflix.
That's not an interesting fact. That's
I think 88 out of 90
Everyone
people would
skips
disagree
that.
with you.
well, we should have all 88 on the podcast to debate with
I
us.
completely agree.
All right. Well, let's take a break. There's too much noise.
Beep.
Oh, Skadoosh. What's up, Alexa? Shut up.
Are you guys eating in the other room?
Yes.
Okay. Just let us know when you're done.
Pog.
All right.
I wish I had a dog when I was a kid, like a baby.
So I wouldn't be deathly afraid of them for no
so that I
reason.
could ride the dog around like.
I did that sometimes, but then,
that
I'd
sounds
fall.
dope. That sounds so dope.
I did the chatter actually.
We're back. Are we back yet? I don't know.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay,
We're back.
We had to move locations based off of the. Wait, we should turn the fan off. This probably sounds terrible for.
Oh my god!
No, it's fine. Keep on going.
Okay.
The Five Blood. No, different movie.
Bloods too.
No.
I think I turned it off.
Artemis Fowl.
Dude. Let's do it in the bathroom.
Starring the guy from Truman Show.
The Truman Show.
I think I just turned it off.
Yeah, you did.
It's stopping.
Let me check.
Okay.
It's stopping, I think. I don't want to touch it.
Touch it.
It stopped.
All right, now this is the time where we'll actually. Okay. Ready to
I'm
say-
back.
All right. We had to move. Stop it. We had to move based off of sound that was happening in my living room, which is why I wanted to record this at 4 instead of 5:30. Nick, but whatever.
You gotta stop whining about that, bro.
I
It's
will
like
be-
we should
I will-
have like a
I
little
will
penny
whine
box
about
thingy
it
where
until
you put
next
a
week.
penny. Yeah.
But anyways,
carpet in your bathroom.
we are now in my
I have
parents'
it.
bedroom. And we are going to continue in here. So our next movie, if Nick, you're done. You're not going to do anything
I have
else.
ADHD. I want to explore too. You know, I low key want to explore.
Okay, guys, can we stand around the microphone?
You're not even standing, dude.
Would you like my position?
Nah.
Okay.
Oh,
Then
dumb.
we are now on to Artemis Fowl. So Nick, can you give us a plot synopsis for Artemis Fowl?
Artemis Fowl, a young criminal prodigy, hunts down a secret society of fairies to find his missing father. That's literally it.
Oh, that's good enough.
No,
honestly.
that is perfect. That's a perfect
Look how
summary.
short that is!
Okay,
Plot
one, Nick, you need to
synopsis.
calm
Yeah.
down.
Dude.
Two, that is such a concise and to the point. That synopsis is 50 times better than that actual movie is.
Oh yeah. For
Harvey
sure.
Weinstein was produced. Oh no, I got the taglines.
No, yeah, taglines. Yeah.
Or no, not taglines.
What's it called?
So it's like plot keywords. Okay, so plot keywords: child, criminal mastermind, ransom, psychotronic film. Father-son relationship. Directed by Kenneth... I don't know how to pronounce that.
Can you stand still?
I'm making it 8.
Wait, produced by Robert De Niro?
What?
Really?
Disney. Criminal. Based on young adult novel based on book. Character name as title. Irish. 2-word title. Kidnapping. Mansion. Produced by Kenneth. Music by Patrick Doyle. Disney Plus. Fairy. And based on novel. Hold on.
Oh my
there's
god,
other
you're just
things.
repeating yourself.
No, that's what it is.
Okay, Nick, you're done. You're canceled.
No, please, please, I have
so,
more. There's
Pahul-
time to believe.
Oh my god.
Remember the name where our world ends, his begins.
Is that the tagline? So, Pahul,
Yes.
why don't you start this one off? Because that's the order we're going in anyways.
This movie sucked butt. I just hated this movie. And I'm kind of glad the order I chose because it was a nice drop off, kind of setting me up for like, oh, you know, it kind of made Staten Island even better. Let's see, what? I don't like the kid, honestly, like the way they show the kid, and he just seemed like such a douchebag. I could just choke him right there if I were there. Oh god, I don't like how
It's like what John Parker was like when he was 9, I bet.
God, like I just, oh!
We need to start using the name thing again because we keep on just saying people's names.
Pon Jarker.
Yeah.
What else? I don't like the skinny ties, honestly. Like the big African American gentleman had like a skinny little tie right there, and it was weird. I don't know. I noticed that. It was weird. What else?
What about the content of the movie? How about
Content of the movie. I didn't really get what the Oculus was supposed to do. Like the big thing they were after. What's the point of that?
I didn't understand 98% of this movie's plot. If I'm gonna be honest.
Infinity still.
It was just so stupid. Like if you're hiding it in the, it's not like it was well hidden either. Like a freaking dwarf got into it. I mean, you know, I guess we're supposed to get into stuff. I know.
That's a politically correct term.
No,
Oh, yeah.
literally they were dwarfs.
Robert,
Yeah.
can't say that.
Literally, they were mythical creatures known as dwarfs.
Can't say that.
He was a big dwarf too.
I like how he was like eating fire, and then he put his nose up there, and his brain just exploded. That was pretty funny.
Okay.
Pahul, have you listened to the Book of Mormon, the musical?
No, I have not.
You should, because the guy who plays the narrator dwarf in this movie, he plays he plays Arnold in the Book of Mormon on Broadway, and he's also the voice of Olaf, and like having all those voices cross over is just so weird. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's very odd.
Uh-oh.
I mean, in the end, it's a kids' movie, so I
Black
guess it's supposed to be stupid because kids are stupid. But if I were a dad and I was watching this movie with my kids, I wouldn't want to live anymore.
Wow.
That's what I'm going to do my review on.
All right, Nick is allowed to speak only about the movie and not about what he just said about the black tea sitting over there. So
What did you say?
Wait, no. Oh, you thought that was... Oh, no, I was just... I thought that was wine.
you pointed towards it and said, "Uh-oh, black tea."
No, I did not say that.
Yes, you did.
I went, uh-oh, because I was pretending that it was like alcohol. And I was like, just kidding, it's black tea. That's really what I said.
Yeah, but you, I don't know.
You took it the wrong way. I don't know what to tell you. That's not what I meant. Berkeley, please.
Make it really funny, dude.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Yeah, you should time stamp that because you probably want to take it out. Okay.
I'll time stamp it.
This movie. No, Nick, it's your turn. You go.
You know, I didn't really pay attention to this movie very well.
Screw you.
Just because, like, what was that for?
Oh, I really like the best part about this. I'm sorry, but the best part about this movie, by far, were the shots of like the Irish like the cliff thingies with the beautiful water and stuff. That was really cool. Like, I really liked watching that stuff.
You could just look up drone footage of Ireland online.
I
and get
guess,
the
but like,
same
I don't really
experience.
want to. But like, putting it, that's up.
Yes, my parents do have a pillow that is up.
Anyway,
this is
I'm
what we
done.
should do. We should record at a different spot in the house every week. While we go, like, I'll be crammed into the closet and barely be able to fit. It'll be
Going
great.
in the hot tub and in the fireplace.
Okay, honestly, podcast in the hot tub sounds awesome.
It does. It really does.
Sound terrible. It's like...
We would have to yell to be heard, and it sounds
I don't really have much to say on this film, to be honest.
Use my notes.
It's like... It's a kids movie. It's not like a kids movie that you can watch with adults. It's just a kids movie, and I hate that. And they didn't really try with the story. Like the CGI, it's gotten some slack. Robert said it's what did you say? What was the word that
He didn't know the word superimposed.
Yeah,
do you know the word superimposed?
Yeah, superimposed images.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't know the word superimposed, and he's like the editing guy.
My bad. Anyways,
Bad, yeah.
so I mean the CGI looked good
On its own, but
On its own.
it looked superimposed.
Yeah, it's like obviously it's not naturally gonna not naturally look. It's gonna like Jesus Christ. Why can't I speak right now?
Because he was chirped.
Yeah, it's really bad. Anyways, that's my review.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Artemis Fowl, everybody on Letterboxd, like, this is like a 1.3 average.
Oh,
Literally,
God.
like, everybody is, like, clamoring that it's, like, one of the worst movies ever. I don't think it's that level of terrible, personally.
I think people are just angry.
The kid acting's bad.
I think it's just a generally bad kids movie. This felt like Max Steel to me, which I know nobody listening or either of you two know what I'm talking about.
Is that the one where the robots do boxing?
No, that's Real Steel.
Oh.
But
I
Max
love Real Steel.
That's a good
Max
movie,
Steel
wasn't it?
came out in 2016, and everyone said it was one of the worst things ever, and I thought it was just like a kid's movie that was like directionless and boring. And that's basically what I thought Artemis Fowl was. Like, the plot of this movie is just super simple, and honestly, like, the plot is so simple that it really could have been a 10-minute short film, and yet at the same time, the mythology in this is so underdeveloped. There's so much. They're both doing the robot right now. I think we need to go back to the sit-down version of this podcast, because when you guys stand up, it's a disaster. Chair there, sit down, please.
I'm not going to ask for to sit down. I'll sit down, but you're not going to ask me to sit down. I'm sitting down.
I'll sit down on my own accord.
Hey, Pahul, sit. Now whenever you sit, you're gonna... Oh! He's lying down on the floor. Pahul, no one will be able to hear you. But,
Get up!
Yeah. What I was saying, though, like, the mythology is so rich, and honestly, I felt like they should have spent more time on mythology and less time on the plot that was just really boring. The actors, like, not even just the kids, everybody in this movie was really bad. Even good actors like Colin Farrell or Judi Dench. Like, Colin Farrell had scenes where he was supposed to be really emotional, and he just was not. And that was, like, I don't know, that was disappointing. Generally, this movie, it's just like a bad kids movie. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I think, like, to a certain degree, it's watchable. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but Disney lost, like, $200+ million on this. They just dropped it on Disney Plus because they knew it was terrible. And really, I think this was just a disaster all around. It kind of feels like Cats, where it's like, why did this movie get made? Like, it's a genuine confusion.
I think this movie was made because they
Paul, get closer to the mic. You cannot sit over there.
Paul, do you have any more gum?
No, I don't. So I think this movie was made to like start a franchise or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't think they should after this one.
No, the fact that they put it straight to Disney Plus means that it lost them hundreds of millions of dollars.
What about the ending where they're like, "Here's a part 2. It's gonna happen."
Wait,
timestamp.
Wait, they have that? I didn't even know. Was that an after credit?
No. When they're flying off in the sunset.
I'm not gonna give like spoiler warnings from.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I guess we could spoil a movie like this because nobody should watch this.
Yeah, no, don't watch this.
Yeah, seriously, don't watch it. It's really.
I'm kind of happy I pirated it, you know, because like I don't.
Oh, yeah, maybe timestamp that.
Seriously, what?
Seriously, what?
I just did illegal.
Okay, let's. Oh my God, guys, I cannot stand being in this room. Paul, please just sit down, please. I'm begging. Sit in a chair.
I can get. Okay.
Yeah, can you get me that chair? Get your own.
I want gum.
Just get that chair. Get that chair.
I can just stand.
Just get that chair. No, because you're just doing crazy stuff, and then Paul
The
was
host
gonna get
is so mean to us.
You guys were doing the robot and walking around and exploring my parents' room, and I don't know. It's not my favorite thing ever. Let's give scores. I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 10. Speak, King.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of SAT terms.
The lowest score possible on an SAT is 400.
300.
So you're going lower than possible.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Nick.
2 out of 10.
2 out of 10. I don't know why I had to use that accent, but alright. And now, we are on to the third movie. Which
Hey, whoa!
Why do I always forget?
Alright. Because it's such a stupid part of the podcast.
The film has been in development since 2001.
Yeah, this has been like a really long time.
Ewan Colfran has jokingly stated that the movie would be finished 2 years after he died.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah, this movie, it was originally supposed to come out, like, I think in 2017, and then they slated it for August of 2019, and then they pushed it back to May of 2020. I bet they just kept on re-editing this movie until it would get good, and then it just never did, so they put it on Disney+. What else, Nick? There has to be more than that. This movie is, like, such an interesting, like, production history.
Colin Farrell shot his scenes in 3 days.
I heard about that. He, like, flew out over a weekend and
Who
then
was
just
that?
shot
Who
his
was that?
scene.
Who's
Colin
Colin?
Farrell, Artemis Fowl Sr.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes sense. He didn't have... never mind. Anyways...
Okay, Nick, one sound effect per transition, okay? Nick, please. Nick, please. Do you understand me, Nick?
No.
Nick, please pause it. I don't want to use force control, but I'm really... Okay.
What? You turn it on!
I cannot...
Denied!
I'm going to cancel this podcast.
I'm gonna cancel you.
Okay, now we're on to our third movie, which is called The King of Staten Island. Nick, what is the plot of The King of Staten Island?
Scott has been a case of arrested development ever since his firefighter father died when he was 7.
Firefighter father. That's a great tongue twister.
Firefighter father, firefighter father, firefighter. And he didn't let him do the sound thingies.
What do you mean?
When he was 7.
You wanted there to be 8 minutes of sound effects?
It was really fun. Blom, blom, blom.
He's now reached his mid-20s, having achieved little, chasing a dream of becoming a tattoo artist that seems far out of reach. As his ambitious younger sister heads off to college, Scott is still living with his exhausted ER nurse mother and spends his days smoking weed, hanging with the guys, Oscar, Iger, and Richie. Igor, sorry, not Iger. Igor. And secretly hooking up with his childhood friend, Kelsey. But when his mother starts dating a loudmouth firefighter named Ray, it sets off a chain of events that will force Scott to grapple with his grief and take his first tentative steps towards moving forward in life. And the plot keywords are Arrested Development, firefighter, and smoking marijuana. I don't know about you, but I really like the smoking marijuana genre of movies.
What are these keywords for? Like, who makes these?
The movie.
The movie makes them. Awesome. Okay, so Nick, you are actually going to be the one who starts off the discussion of The King of Staten Island.
Okay, I really like The King of Staten Island. I thought that the main character, Robert, has told me that he is usually in comedies that no one likes. And I must say...
I don't know if nobody likes
Okay,
them, but
okay.
he's in comedies that the film community generally doesn't like.
Okay, I gotta say...
Such as Trainwreck,
Never heard
Set
of
It Up,
Nope.
The Dirt,
Nope.
Big Time Adolescence,
No.
What Men Want,
Nope.
The Angry Birds Movie 2.
Yup.
Okay, continue.
I think, like, 95% of the jokes in this movie landed. Like, this movie was genuinely, like, really funny.
Yeah, I find it funny too.
Yeah, and I thought that, like, I don't really know how to, like, break down this film, but I had a really positive experience, as they say in the film community, with this movie. And I don't know. I can't.
Sorry.
I'm not entirely sure why. Like, it's just a guy. He's just going through life. It's kind of dramatic. He goes from nothing to kind of, becoming a good person. And I'm not really sure. It's just like the script is done well. The editing is like nothing extraordinary, but it's there. And it isn't like blaring. There are some kind of unmotivated shots, but that's like it happens.
Literally, Breaking Bad has the most unmotivated shots of anything ever. Like, literally, there are so many shots that look cool, but they mean absolutely nothing.
Okay, anyways.
Side note.
Yeah, like the teddy bear.
Or, like, remember when he was putting the money in the lockers, and then there was, like, the shot of him, like, taking it out, and, like, it, like, followed the, like, thing that he was pulling out?
Yeah.
I really like the shot where Hank murdered his entire family.
Spoiler.
That doesn't happen. Okay,
Who's
Nick.
Hank?
Well, now people know that it doesn't happen. Thank you, Robert.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Mama.
Oh shoot! Yeah, now people know that it doesn't happen.
Aunt Jemima.
Because for
Did
oh
you
yeah,
know
she
Aunt
got
Jemima
she's done.
Yeah,
She done, bruh.
that's crazy. We need to talk about the movie, Nick. Do you have anything else to say?
I feel like I heard that it's based on like some pretty racist stuff.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well.
So like I get it.
Paul, you're whispering on a podcast.
I get it.
Okay, Nick.
I'm not entirely sure how to break down this film. I like it, and I don't really know why.
Oh,
Wow.
that's disgusting.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Wait, what?
That felt so good.
Damn.
So, The King of Staten Island was a movie I was not really looking forward to all that much because I thought it would just be another like Judd Apatow comedy because he was pairing out with Pete Davidson. And Judd Apatow is generally just known for making like comedies that are like okay, they're not amazing, and they're kind of entertaining, but they're very easy to forget. But The King of Staten Island was just like something else completely different. And Nick, you brought up a very good point in saying like, I don't know, like when you said like I don't know why this movie is being like clamored like everybody's saying it's so good because it's so simple. I think the fact that it is such a simple movie but it's so effective like goes to prove just how good it is. Like the plot we have seen before many times. The story of like a disgruntled guy who is in his 20s and should probably be out of the house already, having to come to terms with certain trauma in his life. But Pete Davidson, this was autobiographical for him, so it's actually like about his life from what I've heard. And he does a fantastic job with how he does this movie. It's so entertaining, but it's not lighthearted is the thing. Like there's a lot of really good comedy in here, and I like that most of the comedy is situational. It's not really characters telling jokes. It's just like something happens and like it's so absurd that it's just kind of funny. But just generally everything about it, like all of it just makes this like really easygoing tone that is like very easy to get invested in, and once you're invested it stays consistently entertaining, and that definitely made the 2 hour and 20 minute runtime work, because that's a really long runtime for a comedy. But really this isn't a comedy. Like there's funny moments in it, but it is primarily a drama, and a lot of the movie is focused on being a drama. And I liked that. Pete Davidson is incredible in this. I mean, he's like literally playing himself, but he's still like he does a fantastic job, and everyone on screen is just so natural. And I think one of the best compliments you can give a movie is when each character, like you remember different things about each character when it's over. And I think that just comes from the fact that these characters were like really well fleshed out. Pete Davidson was one of the writers on it. And because it was based on his own experiences, he really like fleshes out these characters super well. So even somebody like his old friend that he is having a sexual relationship with, she's even well developed, even though she shouldn't be. And she is not a cliche. She wants to be like a city planner rather than, you know, not caring and just smoking weed all day like he is, you know? And I really enjoyed that. I think generally it just has like the right tone, and it's perfectly dramatic and perfectly funny, and it's just such a well-crafted movie, and like it's exactly what it needed to be. And I don't know, I find it very commendable. Pahul.
Pog champ.
Thank you, Nick. Very cool. Pahul.
I'm thinking, dude.
Okay. You had so much time to think. You're the last person to go.
I was listening to you, and I was listening to Nick.
Thank you. Okay. Pahul is deep in thought.
I heard about this movie, and then I watched it, and it was pretty good.
Usually how it goes.
Did you not take notes on any of the movies?
Nope. Well, I took a note about Artemis Fowl. It was just like, big black guy has skinny tie.
Wow, okay.
You didn't even mention that.
No, he did.
Oh,
Oh, he did? Okay.
You were just walking around my room and looking at things for some reason.
Okay.
It's fascinating.
Come on, Pahul,
Yeah,
I believe in you.
I'll get something.
You're
out
really
of
lacking this week, bro.
So are you, Nick.
Listen here.
Okay, Pahul, we believe in you. You can think of
I'll
something.
pass. I can't think of anything. I liked how
So
it just
can think of
it rounded up the whole films for the week. The nice little bow, you know.
Did you like the movie? I genuinely don't know what your opinion is.
I like the movie.
Okay, Paul, do you have a positive or negative?
Positive.
Why?
Because it was fun. I didn't have to think.
Okay, so what scenes made it fun?
What scenes made it fun?
Or was it the general tone of the movie?
The general tone of the movie, I'd have to say. There's no specific scenes that come to mind, you know?
Mm-hmm. What'd you think of the humor?
I forgot the humor. I completely forgot the humor.
This movie
I like how the kid was getting a tattoo and then he was blind and he was wearing.
This movie makes you seem like you're in the middle of like high school drama that like ends up being really good. That kind of thing. It's just like being in high school, like hearing about high school drama is pretty fun. Like you hear someone gets like pregnant or something, or someone gets like a tattoo, that kind of thing. This entire movie is that thing, but the person ends up being better because of it. And it's really nice. And I think hearing about drama or being in drama is kind of fun sometimes.
So basically, what I just heard you say is this movie has conflict, and at the end, a character changes.
Yeah.
That's quite literally every single quality piece of entertainment ever made.
Y'all just can't let me have my 2 minutes of fame.
You're right, Nick. We should be nicer to you.
And there's an insect in my house because I got these bunch of bug bites all over.
Oh my god, we are... Okay, let's go around and give scores. Nick, what's your score?
I'm gonna give it an 8.25 out of
I don't care. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. Pahul?
1410.
It's pretty good.
1390.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah, because I want it lower than the Five Bloods.
One day your score is gonna be what I got on my SAT back in November, and I'm gonna point it out to you when that happens.
Okay, deal. 1470.
No, when you're reviewing a movie.
Oh.
You got dangerously close when you said 1410. Just so you know. Anyways.
Noted.
Okay, we are now going
1412.
on. That's impossible, Nick. They're graded on 10s. We are now going on to...
Yeah, but so the thing is that last night, while I was watching the movies...
Yeah.
Usually what I do is I tend to watch one movie every day, but I kind of procrastinated. So I watched 2 movies in one day, Artemis Fowl and then Staten Island, immediately afterwards. And I have to say...
That's what we did, Nick.
Yeah, by the end of Artemis Fowl, I was like, oh god, I don't want to watch another movie for a long time. But I think I watched Staten Island and I was very entertained, so that's something.
That is something.
Kind of brought me up, you know?
That is something. I think so.
Yeah, it taught me how to love movies again.
My mom watched it earlier and she said that she cried. She was bawling. So...
Damn.
It made my mother cry. Okay.
I think the more emotional... Out of all 3 movies, the most emotional scene for me was in The Five Bloods.
Yeah, same. When the
I'm not going to say anything. The hug. That's it. That was pretty...
Yeah, that was
For
insane.
me, it was The King of Staten Island. Like the whole movie. Okay. Nick, there are interesting facts about this movie, I know, because we rented it on Amazon Prime and watched it.
And I was gonna yell.
What?
Here, say. Let's move on to the question.
Okay, let's move on.
You can't just keep on doing that. Okay. In real life, Pete Davidson's father was also a firefighter who died in the line of duty, as Robert said.
Yeah, I think it was 9/11.
Oh, yeah. Scott Davidson's unit,
Because I looked
company
it up,
in Brooklyn Heights, responded to the call to the World Trade Center after the terrorist attack on September 11, 2001, and we're in the middle of rescuing people in the Marriott World Trade Center Hotel, where the WTC towers collapsed on the building. Pete was 7 years old. That's sad.
Whoa.
That is very sad.
Yeah.
Screw
Al-Qaeda, man.
You heard it here first. They're bad people.
in case you weren't convinced.
Early in the film, Scott and his friends are watching the horror film The First Purge, 2018, which happens to star Marissa Tomei.
Tomei.
Oh god.
That's how you
What?
pronounce- Oh
I'm
yeah,
bleeding from my sock. Look.
Why are you bleeding?
Because it's a freaking bug bite. There's a bug in my house.
Do you need band-aids?
Paul's dying on the spot.
good.
We need a first aid right now.
I'm good. No, I'm like the guy who walked.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought about.
As Robert pointed out.
Marissa Tomei, who plays the mom in the movie, was in the movie that they were watching in the first scene, which is super weird to think about.
Oh yeah.
Like he was watching a movie that had his mom in it. If you think about it.
Yup.
Yeah.
You guys know my girlfriend, right?
Familiar.
You know her mom.
A little bit.
Marissa Tomei would play her mom in a movie.
Who would play me?
Nope.
I always said like the closest actor.
Put your hands in the air.
I always said that the closest actor I can come to, and this isn't like a great comparison, and it's gonna make me sound bad, but like Kumail Nanjiani, I think is like the best.
Oh.
Who would you want to play you?
Anyone I can choose?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart.
Why?
Because I'm short.
Kevin Hart's not funny. Who do you think would play me in a movie?
Come on, Nanjiani.
I've never gotten a good answer to
Yeah,
this.
Kumail Nanjiani. Screw you.
I love Kumail Nanjiani.
High five from the.
Some Jewish guy. Screw you.
I think Nick could be played by Aaron Paul.
Who's that?
Breaking Bad?
That's Jesse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Nick wanted to voice his frustration through sounds. Nick, please.
Oh, good thing you stopped it right there.
It was a gay sound effect.
Ha! Gay! That's what they do.
We're gonna get a copyright strike on this episode. Nick,
For the hot gay sound effect.
Nick, were there more facts?
Imagine going to someone and be like, yeah, I own the rights to hot gay.
Were there any more facts? Is my
There were
question.
thousands. I'm just not going to read them all.
There were thousands of facts. I
No,
highly
there was
doubt
like
that.
5. Okay, anyways. During the pandemic lockdown in June 2020, the film was scheduled to open in only about 100 theaters nationally. Many of them drive-ins, but just 2 days before the premiere release date, the theaters were abruptly informed that they would not be able to show the film. Instead, it would be limited to on-demand
Oh
TV
yeah, I
release.
saw that on r/movies.
I should join r/movies.
r/movies is
because
pretty
I
fun.
just got Reddit.
It's like pretty fun. Also r/movie details.
You know what's
I
really
follow
fun?
that,
yeah. Yeah, it's pretty
r/adventure communist.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Those people are so into
Shut
it.
up,
Let's
dude.
start podcasts there. Maybe they're going to be interested.
Yeah, we could post the one where we review that game.
I know, this is just every single one.
Yeah. No, we should do the game subreddit. Like
Yeah,
Cartwright.
we should hit up all of those, especially Hungry Shark Evolution, which is our next game.
Dun dun dun.
So Nick,
look at facts quickly ASAP while we're.
Facts? What? Oh.
okay, Paul,
Oh
why
my
don't you get the plot synopsis to Hungry Shark
Okay,
Evolution?
so
With the increasing poaching.
you wake up, you open your eyes, and you're in a plane, and you're like, "What's going on, man?
There's a
Woke
shark.
me
How
up."
does
But then you're dropped in an ocean, and you have no clue what's going on except that there's fishies all around you. And you look to your sides, and you see little fins attached to your body. And like, damn, I'm a shark! And you start eating stuff. And that's it.
Yep, that's it, basically. Okay, should we go back to the first order? I think we should. So I'm going first then. Hungry Shark Evolution was a big thing at the beginning of sophomore year for really all three of us. So we decided we would review it now. Looking back, I genuinely don't know what I thought was fun about this game. Like, I was playing it again, and it was so boring. Like, I played it for 10 minutes, and I was like, I don't know what did I find enjoyable about this? You just scroll around and you just try to eat stuff.
It's kind of like Hold.io in a way.
Yeah, like, it's good for like a week or two. And
Yeah,
then you're
yeah.
like, why
done
would
with
I
this game.
ever enjoy this? Yeah, and it's not this type of thing where like, it's a stupid mobile game and then you don't play it for a bit and then you go back to it like Ball Blast. But you play it again and you
yeah.
just are bored of it.
Yep.
I think, like, I don't know. Did I forget? Are there upgrades you can make to the shark?
You're talking about Hungry Shark World, bro. That's the newer one. Hungry Shark Evolution is an old version.
So World was the one that we played.
I think so,
sophomore year.
yes. Yeah.
Okay, then World is way better because Evolution sucks. It's
I want to download World right now.
yeah. I would play World again because maybe if I could upgrade my shark and make it look cooler, that would be better. But just swimming around and eating fish and people, and then sometimes they're golden, is just not fun. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Pahul, guess whose turn it is?
Well, what? You eat stuff. It's not fun. I get it. I said the same things, dude. My review's up.
Wow. Okay, Nick. What about you?
I'm gonna review World because I haven't played Evolution.
Okay, imagine Evolution is like World, but you stay with one type of shark the entire time.
No, that's not true. You can buy more sharks after you upgrade.
Well, but you
your shark
can't-
completely.
You can't...
I'm already on the hammerhead shark.
Wait, in Hungry Shark Evolution?
Yeah.
Then I thought that you said in World you were able to upgrade your
No,
shark.
you can do, but like in World, you can have like jetpacks and stuff.
Okay, regardless,
Look.
I guess I got too bored of evolution before I ever progressed to another shark.
Beep.
I only found this game fun back when we played it. Like, I played it all the freaking time. I only liked it because I was really good at it, and like I was like on some leaderboards and stuff, and I got to really high sharks, like the robotic one and like the megalodon. I was so freaking good at this, and
Can't wait to put that on a college resume.
yeah, and I forget what I was gonna say, and I did it without cheating, cold cheats.
I cheated because of how.
Because of how says Paul.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, this was, I don't know. I didn't have much fun playing this game.
I liked it.
Let's give our scores. I give Hungry Shark Evolution a 4 out of 10. Paul, you know you're next.
I am?
Yes!
That was such a fake reaction.
1100, 1000, 950.
950, you heard it here first, folks.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, that's for World. It's not even for Evolution. The
Oh,
game that we're reviewing.
next week's game,
No. I'm really... Can we please do Ball Blast?
I was gonna do Flying Gorilla.
No! No! I know what that game is! No!
What is it?
It's so dumb! It's like, okay, it's like on meme pages for being like stupid, like I got a plane flying gorilla, and it's just so stupid.
Flying Gorilla. Yeah, look at that second.
How do you play it?
You just switch lanes! That's it! It's a minion rush!
Wait, what?
Oh, you're terrible at this.
Yeah, that game does not look great. Can we please do Ball Blast?
Maybe
Fine,
you,
Ball
I'm pretty
Blast.
sure.
Yes, we're doing Ball Blast next week.
Okay, trivia time.
Oh
yeah.
For Hungry Shark Evolution.
Yeah, this game does not employ any energy mechanics. This referring to the games which limit gameplay, using units which are consumed when the game is played. Prevent you from playing if all the units have been depleted, which it has been promoted as such. Other fun fact, in this game there are a lot of references to Jaws. The game icon looks like... Hi, Forrest!
Why was Forrest this podcast?
He closed the door by himself, he's so smart. The game icon looks like the film's poster, and the small fishing boat looks like the orca. Both have a crew existing of 3 men. And there's also a what's it called? A Easter egg where you can see BoJack Horseman on his little boat of his escape from LA. It's pretty cool.
All right.
It's not
Okay. We're using a new random question generator.
true.
this week.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Transition sound effect.
Gay!
Okay, that's all we need, Nick. You do not need to play another. Nick, please stop it.
Forrest, what are you doing here, bud?
Hi, Forrest. Okay. Are you guys ready to start questions from the random question generator?
Absolutely.
Also, how long have we gone so far?
An hour and 11 minutes.
We're an hour and 11 minutes in.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's a
I
lot.
feel like the second 2 movies we didn't talk about like at all. Okay. Does the government have a place in regulating food? To what extent should government regulate food?
Yeah, have you ever heard of The Jungle?
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah,
I read it.
That's why I think the government should regulate food.
I think food is like such an essential commodity,
Just
and
like
personally,
the FDA or like...
I'm
or no, not the
biased.
Food and Drug Administration. Sorry.
I'm biased being vegan. I think the government should enforce more veggie stuff. But
Well said.
I just think, okay, you don't have to give up eating meat. As long as we eat, like, meat just 2 times a week, like, that would fix so many problems. I wish we could at least do that. But, like...
I wrote my essay on veganism.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about it?
I was talking about how it's not the best, like, thing to do. Like, it's not as good as it's made out to be. It's, like, better than meat eating, but it's, like, there's other options, too.
That makes sense.
Like, locally produced, because, like, a lot of vegans, they eat out-of-season fruits, which leads to transportation costs and emissions and whatever. It ends up, like, not doing a lot of good for the environment. So if you want to have the best thing, you can get a balanced diet while also supporting your local farmers and also doing organic, no antibiotic stuff, which is good for you.
No, that's not true. I feel Like that definitely makes sense in terms of environmental impact. Ethically, I think that the best thing to do is locally farmed plant-based diets.
Let's just start our own farm. Our worm farm.
Didn't you have a worm farm when you were a kid, Nick?
Jerry.
We have lost the energy for this episode so quickly. Like, well, who's playing Shark? Nick is sleeping. This is a weird question. How do clothes change how the opposite sex views a person?
Well, this
Colors.
is a weird question.
Yeah, that's a terrible question.
Okay.
What is something popular now that annoys you?
No, wait, Nick, did you want to say something about that?
Not really, bro.
Okay.
What's something popular now that annoys you? I personally feel... I don't know why I stopped talking. TikTok is really annoying to me. Like, I get that there's a lot of funny things on it, but it is just, like, invaded all forms of media. And, like, you can't get away from it at this point unless you're watching movies, because movies were made a year ago before TikTok was, like, the biggest thing ever. But you can't go on Instagram or Reddit or, like, even your mail app at this point without seeing something about a TikTok. And it's really... for my UCLA film camp thing, I got an email that mentioned TikTok in it. Like, it's everywhere. And yes, it can be funny, but for the most part, it's really annoying.
A popular thing that I hate is racism.
Well
Way to
said!
go, Nick! What about you, Paul?
I'm like, oh God, what do I not like? I'm like,
Bowles left the building.
I don't like cops, bro. They're stupid.
I don't like the way that we use police either. I thought you were pro-police.
I'm pro-police to an extent where I don't want to completely get rid of police.
Right, but are you okay with the defunding the police movement since it's more about...
Yeah, you defund the police and you do, like, your community stuff.
Isn't it also good to, like, fund the police more to, like, kind of give them more guidelines and, like, teach, like... I don't
Or
know
you could just
Wait, to
redirect-
fund the police more or to defund the police more?
I know defunding the police is better, but, like, there's also an option of funding the police more to, like, kind of teach them more about, like...
From the way I
like
understand...
live body cams,
You-
that would be funding the police more and that kind of thing.
You could do that with the $100 billion they already have. Like,
Yeah,
there
just
is a way
redirect
to
funds.
redistribute $100 billion to maximize the effect of policemen in a positive way. You don't need to fund them more, especially when a lot of
Defund the
social
police,
services
bros.
are like...
I was hearing about this program they do in Seattle,
Mhm.
the SMART program, where, like, when there's calls of something that has to do with mental health, they send out mental health professionals who work with the police along with the police. And, you could, like, work... I think that's a good idea. So instead of just making it all police, making certain emergency situations available to, other professions that are better handled to deal with it. Like specialized and stuff.
Pog.
Okay, we're low on energy. I think we should do 2 more or 1 more questions.
5 more.
5 more!
5 more.
Are you? Do you seriously?
5 more. 5 more. 5 more.
Do you seriously want to do 5 more?
I'm down.
Okay.
Let's do it, like, super quick, dude. Let's do it.
Where was the most awe-inspiring place you have been?
Grand Canyon.
Yeah, Universal Studios, the Harry Potter land.
No, Harry Potter Land is kind of awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
I thought Maui was really awe-inspiring.
I haven't been to many places.
Just because, like
Sundown Bridge.
everyone talks about, like, Hawaii being, like, the chillest place ever. And I didn't believe it, but when you actually go there, like, they have mango cheesecake. Like,
Damn.
what
Dude,
other place is
mango
mango
cheesecake? That sounds like the chillest place ever.
It's so chill, Nick. You're making fun of me. But, okay, my parents said that, this is so non-podcast related, but my parents were, like, trying to encourage us 3 and maybe Don Shorney to go on a trip to Hawaii after high school.
Yeah, boy.
I think that sounds really fun.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'd be down.
Why'd you say, oh boy, Nick?
I hate traveling.
Nick, we'll go on a plane together. Oh my god. You know they have the little peanut things? We can eat peanuts together
I've
on the
never been
plane.
on
Yeah,
a
he's
plane.
never been on a plane.
I'd probably have like a
And we could,
small
like-
anxiety attack. That sounds scary.
Okay,
And the,
no, what
and
you
the
should
air
do-
hostess walks by and like, check her out, check her out. And then,
Look at the-
yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, stop it. Nick, what you should do is get like sleeping meds and like take them on the plane so you're like passed out for the entire plane ride.
No, Nick, it's fun, dude. You gotta...
Nick, if Nick has a panic attack on the airplane.
Okay, fine. That's not fun.
Okay, if you had intro, this is good. If you had intro music, what song would it be? Why? So like you enter a room and a song plays.
Boom. That's our intro music.
Yeah, I was gonna say our intro music, but that's lame, so I'll think of something else.
Bad boys.
Oh, that's good.
What's she gonna do when I come
Abolish the
for
police,
you?
by the way.
Oh shit! That's not a good. No, never mind. That's not a good thing.
What am I thinking? Bad Boys for Life is the highest-grossing movie of 2020. I'm pretty sure.
Dang.
So that's a police.
2020. I thought it was Trolls. Trolls earned a buttload of money.
Well, in theaters, speaking.
Oh, okay.
If I had an intro song, I think, the A-Team, like the A-Team intro song.
Oh.
I'll pull it up. It's like, it's such an epic song. Like, it's just, when you hear it, you're like, yeah, like, it's so good. Not the Ed Sheeran song, that's a piece of garbage, but where is it?
While he finds mine would be Samurai Sword by the microphones. It sounds like hell. You once you hear it, you want to turn it off.
I would be farting noises.
So you'd walk in a room and suddenly everyone would be like, oh, who's farting? Okay, where is it?
Conan
I guess here. This is the best I could find. This is a 15-second unskippable ad. Why does it have 3.3k dislikes?
This is why you get ad block.
No, because I want to support this guy with money. Okay, wait. Here we go. This is the long one.
That sounds like
Yeah, this is the cool part.
Isn't this like? Oh yeah.
I heard of it.
Okay, but wouldn't it be cool to
You
walk into a
haven't
room
heard
to
this?
this?
Oh, the Jaws theme.
Dun dun. Here's a room. That would be ha. Gay.
It'd be kind of cool if you could make Roomba sounds when you walk into a room.
Okay.
That was a long quiet. I
Yeah.
think every episode of ours has had like a quiet.
You just went out. Sorry, I was yelling at them.
Why does Florence look like a portrait of like a man in like the French in the 1600s?
That's a movie. That's a movie.
That's a movie poster. Yeah.
It's like the three girls in the basketball thing.
Oh yeah, that was good. Okay, we have 3 more questions left to go because movie news. We need to talk about movie news. How about we end like that? Because
Okay.
there's some interesting
I mean,
movie
I don't know
news.
any movie news, but okay.
No, I know 2 things I want to talk about. One is that Cinemark 14 and XD reopens on July 10th.
Nice.
This is pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that pretty awesome?
Yeah, I was just checking the date. It's not July 10th today. So.
I know, it's
Can't
very
go today.
upsetting. You thought it was July 10th.
Oh yeah, the days just glued together.
Oh, Minecraft update comes in 6 days.
Oh, we should try to beat the end, like, when it drops. Will you play Minecraft with us again, Paul Hool?
Yeah,
We should try to be done, but we start in the Nether. You can get into the overworld now if you start in the Nether.
How?
You like trade with like the things or whatever that walk around. I forget their name.
I don't know, the zombie pigmen?
Yeah, but they aren't zombie pigmen anymore. They're like traders, kind of.
Okay, and then the other piece of movie news was that... Here, guys, sit down. Come on. A lot of news came out about the Oscars. One I think is really stupid, and one I think will be an interesting debate. One is they extended the eligibility for the 2020 Oscars into 2021. All the way to February 28th, 2021. So any movie that comes out February 20th, 2021 to the end of 2020 is eligible for the 2020 Oscars.
I mean, a lot of movies got delayed, right?
I agree, but I think that the Oscars, like, they are supposed to represent whatever movies come out that year, come hell or high water. Like, whatever movies come out that year that are good.
That was a good movie.
And the fact that it is July, like, in July we are seeing new movies coming out, that means that, like, those movies we're still going to get quality movies before the end of the year,
But,
you know? We have a whole other half of a year to go.
Yeah,
and
but-
it's not like... Wait, sorry. And it's also... The majority of Oscar movies come out towards the end of the year anyways, and yes, production halted some of them, but not all of them. Okay, I'm sorry, go.
I don't know. It's just like, you know, you clog. Like, it's like it's all free flowing in the beginning, but then the sewer gets clogged up with a lot of quality movies at the end, and then they kind of go unseen or stuff.
I don't know. I just think it's supposed to represent 2020 the best it possibly can, but whatever. And then the other thing was, the Oscars talked about introducing a certain, what do you call it, like diversity requirement in order to get eligible for the Oscars. And they didn't outline what that means, but essentially it's like a way to enforce diversity in movies. Which, I see two sides to it. One, it's stupid because the Oscars are about representing the best movies possible. But also, the movie studios have had the burden of increasing diversity for years, and they have done nothing. So it's like, if the Oscars is going to try to do something about it, at least they're trying something, you know?
Yeah, but what about, I don't see a diverse cast in a movie like The Irishman or something, you know?
That's the thing.
It's like, it kind you know.
That's the thing. They haven't let out any guidelines on what that means.
Well, what is, yeah.
So, if it means, like, if your movie is set in modern day, then it needs to include some sort of character of color, then, like, okay, but, yeah, like, movies like The Irishman or, like, Braveheart that takes place in 900 Scotland,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, who's gonna,
it's hard
there's
to,
not gonna be any, yeah.
And another good point I heard brought up was Parasite. Can you call that movie diverse? It's all Korean people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nick, what are you doing?
I'm listening to the song. Go on.
Well, do you want to do another question, or are we ready to wrap up the podcast?
Oh, we're ready to wrap this baby up.
I have a good way to wrap it up.
What's a good way to wrap it up, Nick?
Spring was never waiting for us, dear. It ran one step ahead as we followed in the dance. MacArthur's Park is melting in the dark. All the sweet...
And thank you for listening!
I was gonna sing the entire thing, man!